Hey guys and gals, what's up? NihonTiger here. Welcome back to the Magicraft server. Today we're at the post office first and foremost. And if you missed my stream on Tuesday, you missed me working on this for a little bit of the time. This is a prototype design I have for the wall, and the outside wall, at least one section of it right here. I kind of like it. It looks a lot like the library. As far as what blocks to use, maybe I might switch and add some red in here. I like the red. Maybe I could put some red blocks here, some bloodstained blocks here, and we'll have a stripe running along the outside. I don't know. Got a lot of things to work out with this, but I like the design. I like the stone slabs quite a bit. I think that's a good design, and this strengthened glass with the brown border I think looks pretty good. So all in all, I think this is a good start. Obviously, Graph's been working on a lot of stuff too, in case you missed it. Oh, okay. I was afraid that was stupid glass. I was afraid that I was gonna fall down there. Here I can fall down, but that is here you can see it's kind of the bottom dial compass thing that she's working on. It looks really nice. I'll probably help her with that a little bit here. She's not on right now. I think she's having some internet issues. But I also have a post office box that we have set up. So I have box A1. I also mentioned that on stream, and the design here is the light turns on when you have something in your box. It's a very simple design. It's a combination of a design that I did and something that Graph came up with. So we kind of smushed them together and came out with that. But today, as I promised, I want to do... Well, actually, I want to do two things. One, a server pack update. Oh, great. I'm going to be woozy here. I just walked through some Vistrooms. Why did I do that? Alright, so now we're not woozy anymore. But two things. One, Magicraft is now in version 1.5. There was an update that removed looking glass because it was kind of not working properly. And there's an update as well to Thaumcraft that I want to investigate a little bit and see if there's anything that's been added. In fact, let me check right now. Let me see here. Thaumcraft. What version of Thaumcraft are we running, by the way? Let me check that 1 second here. I'm gonna have to disconnect, but I'll be right back. All right. So the one thing I think that changed was with the arcane levitators. It changed as far as how the levitators work. Now it checks for if you're. I think now it checks if you're crouching. It will go down instead of just sneaking. If you have to be holding down the actual shift key to do it. So that should be interesting. Small little change. But today I want to talk a little bit about this and some other various things. This is a potion shelf from Bibliocraft, and obviously it's fairly easy to put together. Potion shelf. So potion shelves, and most of these Bibliocraft craftable wooden things are available in 6 different wood types, which is all 6 of the basic wood types, I guess you could say. So oak, spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, and dark oak. And there's also a 7th, which we'll get into in another episode, because this is just going to be about basics. It's a framed potion shelf, and there's framed versions of all these different things. So just take a look at the dark oak potion shelf. Is 6 slabs across the top and bottom rows, oak planks here in the corners, and in the middle is a glass bottle. And what this does, the potion shelf, is basically it's storage for your potions. You can not put an axe in there, but you can put potions in here instead of having it store, take up space inside your chest or wherever you have it stored at. And it displays them, so what you can do... Oh, no, I'm going to have to go to the other one. Okay. So here we've got all these displayed, and it's a visual indicator. So I can either right-click on it with an empty hand, and then I could pop these off if I want to. So instant health. I'll take instant health and strength off. And you can see it come out of their respective slots. Now, most of the Bibliocraft stuff that has items that are visible is kind of like this. You can also go ahead and just right-click on this with something in your hand. If you don't click on one of the potions themselves, it'll just take you to this interface, and you can put this in like so. You can also go ahead and let's see if I can do this. Shift click, and it will pick a potion that your cursor is on. Very cool, very easy. So if I just want to get one at random, I just have to do that. I can click an open spot or just click anywhere on this. But if I shift click, it'll get the potion that my cursor is pointing at. Now if I want to do the opposite, I can also do that. So let's say I want to move the strength potion here. Oh, careful, actually. Oh yeah, you don't shift click on it. You just click on an empty spot and it does that automatically. Because if you shift click, it'll make you drink it. Be careful with that. That's right. So be careful when you're putting those on. Don't shift click to put them back on. Just place them normally with a right click. So that's the potion shelf in a nutshell. And there's a bunch more stuff like that. There's a bunch more things we can do. So let's grab some wood here. See what we've got wood wise. Oak wood planks will do fine. I made some more actually extra shelves a while ago. I thought I would need more for that room and I did not. So we've got 40 in here. Actually, you know what? Let's grab a stack. So I need 6 will do. So we have a stack of wood, oak wood, fairly easy to get. So let's make some things here. And we'll start off with a bookcase. So the bookcase is one of the basic things in Bibliocraft. It's kind of one of the things that gave Bibliocraft its name. Obviously, Bibliocraft, Bibliograph. Biblio is, I think it's Latin. I think it's the Latin root word for book. That's why they call it a bibliograph. That's why biblioteca in Spanish is library. So, I said bibliocase. Bookshelf, and you have bookcase. So this is kind of interesting. We'll talk a bit about bookshelves in a minute and how they relate to bookcases. But again, we have spruce bookcases, which you can get. These are creative mode only, randomly filled with books. Oak bookcase is just slabs down the middle and then planks on either side. So let's go ahead and we have to go upstairs, go to our crafting area. And we'll probably just craft a bunch of stuff up there to start with because it's easier that way. We can talk about it afterward. So let's go ahead. Oh, there's my thermostatic harness. I put it there for safekeeping. I'll put it in this one now just to clear space. So here we go. Make some slabs. Need a bunch of those. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 down the middle. There's an oak bookcase. Nice. And it shows there's books in there, but it doesn't come with books. Don't worry about it. All right. So next on the list, tool rack. Tool rack. Now this is a really cool thing too. It's 8 slabs and then iron ingot in the middle. So do we have iron around here? I thought I had some in the furnace. Damn. So I'll have to go back down and get some. But the tool rack is kind of like shelving for your tools, and it's very useful. Again, like most of the stuff in Bibliocraft, it's basically an ease of access and kind of ease of life kind of thing. It makes things a lot easier if you're out there. It actually functions very similar. Those of you who are familiar with Terra Firma Craft, you know there's the racks that you can put stuff on in TFC. It's very similar to that. So we'll make a tool rack. All right, so what else is on my list? Shelving. So we should get that too. Shelf. Here we go. Oak shelf. Got oak slabs and oak planks in the middle. Fairly easy to do. Need to make some more planks to do it though. There we go. Put one in the middle. And there's a shelf. Very cool. Let's go ahead and see what else we've got here. Armor stand, I'll talk about that in a moment. Let's see. Labels. Wood labels, we can talk about that. We've already got one crafted. Disc rack, yes. Disc rack. So disc racks are spelled properly here. Disc rack is just 3 sticks and then 3 slabs. I am short on sticks, but I can make more. I'll use more slabs. You'll never not have enough slabs in Bibliocraft. It uses slabs for everything. There we go. Disc rack. Fancy workbench. Oh, actually, you know what? Since we are going to need to make a fancy workbench, we're going to need to make 2 of these. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's start with what we've got here. I think these 4 items plus the armor stand are pretty good. So you've seen the armor stand before. Let's talk a little bit about that. We don't have to craft another one. I don't think we have a need to craft one. So armor stand, the recipe is 2 iron ingots and 3 stone slabs across the bottom in the shape of an upside down T, like this. So what the armor stand does is it obviously allows you to display your armor, which is very nice. It also stores it, and it's very easy to use. So if I want to go ahead and get the armor off here, I have 2 ways to do it. Now there's one way which requires... Oh, okay, that's actually not it. But if I just right click on it without shifting, I get this user interface, and what I've got here is on the left is what's on the armor stand, and what's on the right is what I'm wearing. So obviously you can do it manually and just flip-flop things around like that. So if now I'm wearing my Thaumaturge's robes, but let's say we don't want to do that. And by the way, it does just change the display instantaneously when you switch stuff around, which is very cool. Let's say I just want to do this quick and easy. I need to very quickly change gear here. I'm being chased by some zombie. What I can do is I can shift right click, and you saw me accidentally do that before. I can shift right click on any of these items, just point myself at it like so. I take my goggles on and off like that. And what that will do, actually I want the goggles for a moment. I'm going to need that in a minute. But what that does is, like the potions, it flip-flops things in the inventory of the armor rack and your own, whatever you're wearing. So now I've got everything on that I want on, and I can leave this alone. But it's really cool. I like it, and it looks really nice too. So I would really suggest making armor stands right off the bat. It's probably not too expensive for you if you're starting out. I mean, you're going to be pretty good to go on, 3 stone slabs and 2 iron. It's not too much, so definitely worth making these. Okay, so I've got an issue here. I've got all these books, and look at this. I've got all these books from... Shiny things do I have? Yes, I have these too. So I have some discs too, but most importantly, I have all these books that are just eating up inventory space. What am I going to do with them? Well, I can make these oak bookcases or whatever wooden bookcases, and what I can do is, let's plop that right there. So it's an empty bookcase, and I can take these books and I can pop them into, How to Use Your Trick Chest 9000 can go in, Enchanted Book can go in. And so this is what the bookcase does. It's a way, like most of the other things in Bibliocraft, it's just a way to add storage to your world that's not only accessible, but looks really nice too. So if I right click on the bookcase, if I right click on any bookcase, what it will do is it opens up the interface here. And I've got space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 books in each of these bookcases. And what's really cool about it, and this is a very small thing, they don't really tell you this, but a full bookcase. So let's fill this bad boy up real quick. I've got to have enough books, right? That might be too short, but let's say I've got a full bookcase. I don't think you can use regular books in here, can you? Nah, regular books don't work. Enchanted books do. Other books that you might get from other mods will work in your bookcase. But if you've got a full bookcase here, it is the same to this, the enchanting table, as this area right here, these 2 bookshelves. So if you really want to be cheap and sneaky about it, and you don't want to make all these bookshelves, what you can do is make half as many bookshelves as you need. So instead of having to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 bookshelves, regular vanilla bookshelves, you can make, I think 9 of those, which is a little bit cheaper because it doesn't require as many books. And you'll probably find more enchanted books just wandering around the world anyway. And you can put those around there. You can put them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not only smaller, but it'll work just the same. You'll get 30 levels, no different than anything else. I haven't tested this out yet. I found that on the wiki, the Bibliocraft wiki, and I'd like to test it out. I'm pretty sure it works. I'm pretty sure they haven't changed it for 1.7, but it's really cool that that's a possible feature, and it's really, much more efficient way of doing it, I think, because not only do you get the storage here, but you also get the added benefit of it actually working as enchantment table enhancement. So we've also got these 3 other things to deal with: the tool rack, the disc rack, and the oak shelf. Oak shelf, it's pretty much the same thing as your bookcase. You right click on it with an empty hand. You can put items in here. So this covers pretty much all your extra items. And you can put stacks on there too, so keep that in mind. We can also put stacks of different things. So let's say we want to store that. I'm going to put our focus pouch and our Sword of the Zephyr on there. We can do that. And if you do put the stack on there, it is actually visually represented as a stack if the item would appear in 3D the same way. So like if I did Control Q and threw all those on the ground and made multiple of them, it will do that in the bookshelf too. Now, the bookshelf kind of functions in the same way. Right click on it, put an item in there, shift right click to take an item out. I don't think, okay, it's just right click to take an item out. Shift right click actually opens the interface. And you do have to shift click your things out of there. If you want to actually go ahead and switch them out this way, you have to do it with a shift right click. But still, it's pretty easy, pretty efficient to do. I'll go ahead and put my actual tools up there. I hear you out there, Wisp. Don't be doing bad things around here. But instead of using a oak shelf for your tools, like we're using right here, what if there was a different way? Well, that's what the oak tool rack is for. So let's go ahead and plop that down here. Now the tool rack, as you can see, it holds tools, and it holds tools of all different types from all different mods. Even my wand fits on there. Though it's a little janky, it pops through the top. It's always been like that. But the tool rack, this is like the one that's from Thaumcraft, where it holds tools and actually doesn't hold anything else. So if you have like a bunch of tools you want to put on here for easy access, if you don't want to go digging through your chests, this is the way to go. And I imagine we'll be making quite a few of these in the future as we continue to set up our little home away from home. But yeah, it basically operates similar to the oak shelves and all these other things. Shift right click on it to you just right click on it. Excuse me, I said shift right click. Shift right click is to open the interface like the oak shelf. But you just right click on it to grab an item. It'll drop off. Right click on an open spot to again replace it. And like the oak shelf, if you have an item already in the slot, you can't place another item there. Just by flip-flopping it, it will just go ahead and not work. Of course, you've probably guessed by now what the disc rack does. No surprise, it's like the tool rack, but for music discs. So, again, like the disc rack, you have the wonderful opportunity to go ahead and place discs on here as storage. It holds up to, I think, 9 of them. Yes, 9 is the correct number. Right-clicking on the disc rack will get you the interface, which is pretty similar to everything else. And likewise, shift right clicking on a disc will make it pop off. You can not shift right click to put it back on, you just have to regular click. So that's pretty much that. I mean, disc rack is useful, especially since you go Dungeoneer, you get a ton of discs and you don't have anywhere to put them. Disc rack is your friend for that. Saves you a lot of inventory space. Alright, so before I forget, we're going to talk a little bit about wooden labels, which to me at least is a little bit of a newer addition to Bibliocraft that I haven't really played around with too much. So right over here is a wooden label. To craft one, you can do it again out of the 6 basic block types. It's just 6 slabs in the top 2 rows here. If you make it in the bottom 2 rows, I think it makes a trapdoor still. So just be careful of that. It's not shapeless crafting where you can craft anywhere, but this is what the label looks like. And what's really cool is that it holds, if I click on this right, you have to shift click on it to open it up, but it holds up to 3 stacks of things or 3 different items and displays them here. So it's intended kind of for, being a label on one of these over here for, easy identification of things, but you can actually use it to kind of have small storage pockets around, places. You can actually store tools in there. So if you want to have like a secret little stash where you keep your really awesome stuff, you can just put it in a wooden label. And that is relatively easy to do. It's a cheap way of storing things at the same time. It doesn't store a lot, but it stores enough, I think, to be useful. Oh, and I forgot to mention, as you saw there, we have the clipboard. The clipboard is, you can see the recipe here, ink sac, a feather, 3 paper, and a pressure plate makes a clipboard. And what that is pretty much what you think it is. Let me click on that. Clipboard, if I right click on it, basically there's a way to keep track of things. It's a list. You can make lists all the time. Let's see, we've talked about clipboards. We can check that off with the right click, or we can uncheck it with another right click, or clear it with a third. But we've talked about clipboards. We're cool. Haven't taken over the world yet. Designed a post office, working on that, build airship. So we still have some things to do on our to-do list. But, and this is cool too. I didn't realize this, but you can actually go ahead and right click on it. I think to hang it on the wall. Oh, is it I'll put my axe somewhere. I'll put my axe over here. I wonder if the axe is needed to break it. Yes. So if I take this and I'll right click it and I can put it on the wall, and it will actually display my list of things to do. And if I right click it again, I can take it off the wall. A shift right click, I should mention, has multiple pages. So just right click or shift right click to put it on the wall. Right click, shift right click again to take it off. Very easy, very cool. Now I have a to-do list, and I can always keep track of things I need to do. So there's more advanced things we can talk about in the future. We can talk about how to make, custom paintings using Bibliocraft. We can talk about how to copy books using Bibliocraft. There's a lot of really cool things we'll do, but those aren't really the basics. Instead, what I want to do is make some things for fun here. So we'll start off by putting a button up here, 3 iron ingots, an upside down pyramid, or an upside down bucket, and then redstone in the middle here, and you get a desk bell. You want to know what a desk bell does? Let me just put it here. That's really all it does. It just makes a dinging sound. I just like doing it. I love the desk. I love the desk bell. It's one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft is make a desk bell and just ring it repeatedly to annoy people. But alas, we must be on to other things. So there are, I think, 3 more things I wanted to go over real quick. One is the fancy workbench. So we may need to make a workbench for that. Fancy workbench. Fancy workbench. Recipe is slabs, ink sac, feather, crafting table, oak bookcase, and oak fancy workbench. Unfortunately, I am a little low on feathers. I haven't been able to get a whole lot of them. I need to set up a chicken farm to do it. But what this fancy workbench does, and we'll get into that in the future, is it allows you to make and use recipe books to craft things really easily. It's really cool, and when we get into kind of more advanced stuff, I think we'll talk about it, because I just realized I'm out of feathers, so I can't really do what I want to do, which is a shame, but we'll leave that for now. Instead, let's make something fancy, very fancy. Well, yes, my child. There's a monocle. I have made a monocle. Hello, I am Fancy Pants, Mr. Tiger. I say, do you have any grape upon? So yes, the monocle is a head item. Does it actually offer some armor? Why, yes it does. It actually offers some armor, protection level of 1. So not a whole hell of a lot, especially compared to the helmet, which offers a protection level of 2. It's essentially the same protection level as your goggles are revealing. It's just a lot fancier. And you can do something with this, as well as the next thing we're going to make. And we'll do 2 ink sacs down here, and I think iron ingot. Aha, yes, reading glasses. Reading glasses have a protection of 1. And go put those on. There we go. I am now nerdy. So to show you what the reading glasses can do, we are not going to come here and do this. We're going to go to the library to show you just how crazy this can be. Actually, you can kind of see it here. a little bit. Kind of see what's going on in the middle there in that bookcase. When we get to the library, it'll be a little bit clearer. But let me see here. Where is library? Library is right here. Library basement. Yes. So let's go to the library, and we're going to find ourselves right here, a bookcase. So if you can see in the middle there, Encyclopedia Tropica. Oh, actually, might want that. Might want to copy that. World Fuzz, Last Sky, Vanilla Guy, War Ice. What is going on here? Why are all these things showing up randomly in the middle here? Why is this? Oh, that's why. Because those are the names of the books. Yes. So the reading glasses, what they do is they kind of, if you're pointing at something in a bookcase, or I believe in pretty much any of the things here that has an actual name that works with NEI and Bibliocraft. So like this armor stand, for example, void helm, void chestplate, void leggings, void boots. See if I can find an oak shelf real quick. I know there's some around here, like checklist. No, it's not gonna work. Oh yeah, right over here in the horticulture area, there was some saplings on shelves that we can take a look at. Yes, dying sapling, magic sapling, fir sapling, willow sapling. So you can see if I hover my cursor over an item on a bookshelf, a armor stand, pretty much all of these shelving types in the game, it will give me a name display of whatever is on the shelf that I'm looking at that my cursor's pointed at. So it's really cool, and it's really handy and helpful, especially if you have like multiple enchanted things. You can see at a glance what you are looking at. Like over here too. It's not working on the oak shelf. I thought that was supposed to work that way. You see it, select the book. Oh, it's actually got interface here with the typesetting table too. That's really nice. Doesn't that one with the ink mixer? No. The printing press? No, it's Bibliocraft too, but it doesn't. Doesn't work with the Magicraft books either. But it's really cool. I really like that little aspect of the glasses. But there's one more thing we can do with them. So, wait, actually, I want to go back to my library because I think there's something else I wanted to check with that and see if it still does that. Yes, actually, this is very good. This is what I wanted. See, if I'm looking at something that has an enchant on it, it tells me what the enchant is. So, steel chestplate with blast protection 1. Those boots have feather falling 1 on them. And pickaxe of the core, shears, iron shovel. Let's find something. Let's put the Sword of the Zephyr up there. It doesn't tell me the Sword of the Zephyr has enchants on it. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't tell me that, unfortunately. But for your armor, it will tell you, obviously, if you have enchants on it, what those enchants are. It's very helpful and handy if you have multiple, say I have multiple diamond chest plates, and I want to find the protection 3 one I have, not the protection 2 haste one on breaking 3 one. I could do that really quickly and really easily. But let's say that we're not quite satisfied using the reading glasses when we have our goggles of revealing. How can we change that? Well, let me see here. I think, if I remember correctly, what is the crafting recipe here for the glasses? There's one thing I have to check real quick. I think there's a specific way that I have to have these 2 items set up. I'm just reading something here. Enchantment can be crafted by using an enchanted book and either one of 3 pairs of reading glasses. So, by the way, I should mention with the glasses, there is also a tinted version that, let's see here. Tinted glasses. It's the reading glasses plus gray dye. Makes tinted glasses. They're basically sunglasses. They make you look cool. So we have, let me grab my enchanted book. This is power 2. Let me find one that's kind of junk here. Smite, efficiency, wrecking, unbreaking, wrecking, destruction, unbreaking. We have 2 unbreakings. Let's go ahead and take the reading glasses, the unbreaking book, and now we have reading 1. So I can take that. My goggles are revealing. Can I have enough levels? Yeah, 13. So this has right now, this has protection 4, repair 1, reading 1 book. So now I have protection 4, repair 1, reading 1. on my goggles of revealing, and I put those on, and oh my goodness, it does the exact same thing as those reading glasses. So this works. This Reading 1 enchantment book works on any helmet that you have in the game. As long as you can combine the two in an anvil, you can make anything that has Reading 1 on it for a helmet, and that will give you the exact same wonderful ability as if you were wearing a monocle or a pair of the reading glasses. So it's very, very useful to go ahead, and there's my chicken kills. Don't tell Graf I killed some chickens. I replaced them, don't worry. But yeah, it's really helpful if you have a whole bunch of stuff that you're just trying to figure out. Okay, there's my pickaxe up the core, my shears, or are those my good shears? My my iron shovels over here. Which of these books do I want? So reading, if you like the reading glasses, the reading enchantment makes everything a lot easier and a lot better. All right, so I have gone ahead and fed Faust, but I can't feed Merlin because otherwise they'll breed, and I really don't want a puppy right now. I'm sorry, guys. You'll have to wait a little bit. Just wait till Faust Merlin is done eating, and then you can eat. Just because I don't want no puppies right now. 2 of you is enough, okay? But that's it for kind of some of the basics of Bibliocraft that I really like. Some of the things that I really enjoy about the mod. I really love that bell to death. I don't know if we're going to talk about some of the more advanced stuff next time. We didn't really get into like the tables. We didn't get into tables. We didn't get into seats. You can make seats in Bibliocraft, different types of seats. Lots of really cool things you can do with the Bibliocraft mod. There's printing presses, which, by the way, I have found out that we can copy the big books, so we'll be able to do that and set up our business in the future. I'm very excited about that. That's a huge thing for activity on the server once I'm done with my big project over there, and once I'm done with this, and as we start to work on the airship, which we have to start soon too, because I don't want to wait too long on that, and I really should be working on building this. Maybe I'll do that next time. I'll actually build the top here, because guess what? We're 16 episodes in, and I still haven't done this, and my neighbors are building around, and I'm feeling like I'm falling behind. Look at Tab's place. This is so beautiful. And I'm just sitting here with my dirt floor, so this has got to change. This has got to change soon. Maybe we'll do that next time. But until then, guys, thank you for watching. Or I should say, guys, gals, thank you for watching. Don't want to be too forgetful that any of you who may be watching are female as well. I appreciate it, no matter what gender you are. I always appreciate... Oh, ow. I always appreciate everyone who watches my videos. But until next time, everyone, stay magic, my friends. Stay magic.